Two friends go to a pizza corner. They had two options. Either each of them could buy an 8-inch pizza, or they could together buy a 16-inch pizza and share it. Now, the size of a pizza is given in terms of its diameter. So 16-inch pizza means the diameter of this pizza is 16-inch. And 8-inch pizza means the diameter of this pizza is 8-inch. So we see that the size of this pizza is double the size of this pizza in terms of its diameter, and also the cost for it is double the cost for this. So it would cost them the same whether they go for option 1 or option 2, because it would cost 154 to each in both the options. So now they have to choose which should be a preferred option. So it depends on the amount of pizza they get in each option. Obviously, they would prefer an option in which they get more amount of pizza. So let us see whether they get the same amount of pizza in each option, or is there any one of the two options in which they are getting more pizza. To find the amount of pizza, we need to calculate the area of the pizza. Now we can see that the pizza is circular. So we need to find the area of a circle. The area of a circle is given by pi r square. So it is pi into the square of radius. So the area of a circle is pi into r into r. Well, where did this pi r square come from? Why is the area of a circle pi r square? Well, where does this pi r square come from? Consider this circle. The green area represents the area of this circle. Now we can divide this circle into 8 equal parts as shown and arrange them into rectangular formation. As we can see, it somewhat resembles a rectangle, but it is not a rectangle. So what we do is divide the circle into smaller equal pieces and arrange them into a rectangular formation. We can see that this time it is closer to a rectangle. As we divide the circle into even smaller and smaller pieces, we see that every time the shape becomes more like a rectangle. So in how small equal pieces should we divide a circle so that it becomes a perfect rectangle? Well, we have to divide the circle into smaller, smaller, and still smaller pieces until we reach the smallest possible division, which is so small that we cannot distinguish between the two lines. Now, on rearranging the pieces, the circle becomes a perfect rectangle. Now we can say that the area of the circle is equal to the area of the rectangle, which is equal to base into height. The height of this rectangle is the same as the radius of this circle. To find the base, we compare it with the circumference of the circle. And we see that the base is equal to half of the circumference. Now recall that circumference is equal to 2 pi r. So half of circumference is equal to pi into r. So now base is equal to pi r. Now base into height is pi r into r, which is equal to pi r square, which is the area of this rectangle, and which in turn is the area of the circle. So pi r square can be used to calculate the area of any circle. So now can you find the area of this circle? Well, it is given that the radius of the circle is 7 centimeter. We know that the area of a circle is given by pi r square. we have to take the value of pi as 22 by 7. So this is equal to 22 by 7 into square of radius. Radius is 7 centimeter. So into 7 square centimeter square. So this is equal to 22 by 7 into 7 centimeter square. So 7 and 7 get cancelled. We have 22 into 7. 7 into 2 is 14. And 7 into 2 is 14 plus 1, 154 centimeter square. So the area of this circle is 154 centimeter square, and we have calculated it using the formula pi r square. So this is the formula for area of the circle. So now can you say which option should the friends go for? Well, as we have already seen, the pizzas are in the form of a circle, and we can calculate the area of these pizzas. So let us calculate the area which they get in option 1. Now we know that the area of a circle is pi r square. So for one 8-inch pizza, the area which they get is pi into the square of radius. 8-inch is the diameter of this pizza. So the radius would be equal to 4-inch. And the area of one pizza will be pi into 4 square, because pi r square, which is equal to pi into 16, which is equal to 16 pi. This is the area for one pizza. For both the pizzas, the area will be 2 into 16 pi, which is equal to 32 pi. So this is the area that they are getting in option 1. That is 32 pi. Now let us find the area which they get in option 2. So again, area is pi r square. The diameter is 16-inch. So the radius will be equal to 8-inch. Area is pi into 8 square, which is equal to pi into 64, which is equal to 64 pi. So the amount of pizza which they get in option 2 is 64 pi. Now we compare these two. The cost, the total cost in both the options is same. It is 154 plus 154, that is 308. In this option also it is 308. The amount of pizza which they get in this option is 32 pi, which is the area of both the pizzas together. The area of this pizza is 64 pi. So we see that they get double the amount of pizza in this option by spending the same amount. So obviously, they should go for this option. So the friends should choose this option. So we have seen that the area of a circle is given by pi r square, that is pi into the square of radius, and given the radius of a circle, we can calculate its area.